Everyone laughed in grade school when he swore he'd marry her, but look at him now. Matt and Laura, growing up, went to the same elementary school in Phoenix, Arizona. And from the start, these two were literally inseparable. They were only 3 years old when this photo was taken. And back then, no one could believe how unique their bond was. When he was just 3, Matt vowed to marry Laura. But everyone at the nursery school laughed at him, telling him he was simply an idiot. No one could believe such a thing, and that in 15 or even 20 years they'd still be together and getting married. But unfortunately, all the people who criticized him were right, and a few years later they were separated. Quite simply, the two went their separate ways and ended up in 2 different schools. The two of them, who seemed so inseparable, still managed to lose sight of each other. Over the years, they went from being inseparable to complete strangers. But a few years later, when Matt had aged well, he found this photo of him and Laura, and immediately all his feelings returned. But you won't believe what he did, because it's just unbelievable. Part 2. When he was only 3 years old, Matt and Laura were inseparable. They were so close to each other, and their bond was so unique that one day Matt swore to marry Laura. But unfortunately, life made them lose sight of each other, taking 2 different paths and 2 different schools. Many years passed without them seeing each other, and they became complete strangers. But a few years later, Matt found this picture of him, and Laura and his feelings instantly came back. From there, he had an idea, and he went after it. All he wanted was to find Laura and confess all his feelings to her. Thanks to the internet and social media, he finally managed to find her quite quickly. They made an appointment, and shortly after their reunion, they started dating. It was then that Matt kept his promise to Laura 20 years earlier. Matt asked Laura if she wanted to marry him. Laura said yes, and they finally got married. All those who made fun of him during pregnancy came back to him. They called him and congratulated him.